Hi everyone, I am MisterBo and Bungie has officially revealed the Rise of Iron expansion. We have the official launch trailer and they also did a reveal stream on Twitch in which they got into a lot more information about what we can expect in this expansion. So in this video we're going to be breaking down and analysing the brand new trailer and going over some things that you might not know. So straight away we get a good shot of the new enemy we are going to be facing. These are Splicers. So every fallen house has splicers. These are types of fallen enemies that like to augment their bodies to be machines. However, the House of Devils have a certain set of splicers who have found this ultimate technology called Siva, that's S-I-V-A, which the Lords of Iron managed to put away a long time ago by sacrificing themselves. As you can see from this trailer, they have the sort of red colouring to them because they are part of the House of Devils and they are mostly machine, and this Siva will actually allow them to be the ultimate machines. We then get a shot of this weird structure in this red glowing area, and this is actually what Siva is, and I'm sure we'll learn a lot more about this leading up to and when we actually play through the story missions in this expansion. We get a good look at a warlock here wearing some of the brand new armor. We have 3 types of armor that we know about so far, and we'll go into those in a little bit more detail in just a minute. We then get to see the brand new patrol location, which is the Plaguelands. Now there are 3 areas we are going to be able to explore in this expansion. The first is the patrol zone, which is the Plaguelands. We're going to explore the wall a little bit more, and I assume that will probably be in the raid. And then we also have the brand new social space, which is Felwinters Peak, and we'll see a bit of that in a second. But this location we can see on screen here looks to be a giant fallen servitor crashed into the ground. Now what's interesting to note is there's this image on the destinythegame.com website, and under this image it actually says the raid, so this could be the start of the brand new raid, or that image just might be titled raid for no other reason. We'll just have to wait and see on that. We also get to see how these enemies are going to spawn in, and it's going to be a lot like the Taken, where you see this ball that's floating there and then it sort of blows up and the enemies spawn in. However, instead of it being a black and white object, it's now going to be this red glowing ball, and then you'll see the splicers spawn in. We then get a good look at a new splicer here. It looks to be maybe a fallen captain or perhaps a boss. You'll notice that near his head he has this big red object. As to what that is, we aren't too sure at the moment. It could be some sort of weak spot. This, as I said, could be a boss and you might need to shoot that in order to hurt him. We then get to see the splicer version of a Dreg, which now have peg legs. We then cut back to Lord Saladin, and we now get to see Lord Saladin without his helmet on, which is kind of cool to see. He's also sporting this giant axe. Now we know we are going to be wielding this, and we do see a clip of that later on in the trailer, but Bungie has confirmed that this is going to be like the brand new relic or the Scorch Cannon that we saw. It's not going to be an actual weapon. You're only going to be able to hold it for a certain amount of time in either patrol or missions. We then get to see a shot of what I assume is the Plaguelands still. This time it is a very snowy area. This place looks really cool. At the top of the screen we can see a gondola, and we have seen them before in Destiny. There's one at the top of Twilight's Gap, and then there's one at the bottom of the Frontier map, so maybe this location takes place in between those 2 locations. And then we get to see a shot of more warlock armor, this time this female warlock who is actually located in the brand new social space. As I said before, it's called Felwinters Peak and it sits above overlooking old Russia. Of course there are going to be NPCs here which are going to be able to get quests, bounties and all sorts of other things. It is worth noting that while we aren't going to be able to use wolves ourselves, they did say you might find wolves roaming around in the social space. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly this social space is going to have at it, and why we're going to want to go here instead of maybe the tower or the reef. And now we get to see some shots of the armor. Now as I previously talked about, there are going to be 3 different types of armor that we know about so far. The first being the Iron Lord's armor, so the stuff that has the similar look to the Iron Banner armor. The second is going to be the Siva armor, so armor that is styled around the look of the Siva. And the third armor set we see in this trailer is the brand new Trials of Osiris armor set for the Hunter. It is definitely going to be interesting to see what the armor set will look like for the Warlock and the Titan as well when it comes to Trials of Osiris. We then start to see some glimpses of the raid. Now this is kind of strange for Bungie showing this much of the raid. Usually we don't get any sort of teasers or hints about the raid in the reveal trailers, but we do have some stuff to look at here. Firstly, we can see 6 guardians on top of the wall jumping off. This could be where you start the raid, but as I previously mentioned, I believe that fallen servitor that is crashed into the ground could be the start of the raid. These guardians could also be on top of this wall after a boss encounter, which we'll see in just a minute. So here we can see 6 guardians lining up against some giant kind of fallen machine. We have no idea what this is. Bungie wasn't telling us anything in their reveal stream, but I do have an idea of what I think this could be. Now this could either be a boss or just a normal encounter during the raid, but as you'll notice, this thing takes up a lot of space. It actually covers the whole space of the wall, not allowing you to get past it. As we can see, guardians are running away from it. I believe this thing is going to chase you all the way along the wall, and you're going to have to try and dodge its attacks whilst trying to get to the other end. Whether it's by foot or whether it's on a sparrow, we'll just have to wait and see, but that is my theory for this boss encounter. We're going to have to just run away from it and not actually attack it head on. We then get to see another location inside the brand new patrol zone. This time there's lava around, and you can see these guardians on sparrows, so it is confirmed you are going to be able to go on sparrows in this patrol location, unlike with the dreadnought where you weren't able to use a sparrow at all. We get to see this Omolon scout rifle here, and as you'll notice, it looks like it has been augmented with the Deceiver, so maybe that is something we can do, or maybe that is a new type of weapon we'll be able to find. Like faction weapons, like foundry weapons, we're going to have weapons that are augmented by this brand new machine. And then near the end of the trailer, we get to see one of the Warlock Guardians here holding that giant axe that we've talked about before. Again, it is going to be a relic weapon. It's not going to be a normal weapon you'll be able to equip on yourself, but it does look like it's going to be a ton of fun to use. And then at the end of the trailer, they reveal that you are going to be able to get the Galahorn, or the Iron Galahorn if you pre-order, but they have confirmed you are going to be able to get the normal Galahorn year 3 by completing a quest and making it yourself. But if you want a black and silver version of it, then you do need to pre-order. So you don't need to pre-order in order to get the Galahorn, but if you want a special recolored version of it, then you do need to pre-order. And that is all we got in this reveal trailer. The expansion launches on September 20th. They have confirmed it will cost $30 or $24.99 in pounds. There's also going to be a significant light level increase, as well as a lot of other information that they have promised they will share with us over the upcoming weeks and months until this thing launches. So there you have it. That is everything in the trailer that I noticed and some of the information we got from their reveal stream. Let me know what you guys think of this expansion. Are you excited? Was there anything in this trailer that I missed? Was there anything in this trailer that got you extremely excited? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys missed my previous video in which I went over some of this information before we had the full reveal, then you can click the image on screen or the link in the description below. Feel free to give the like button a big old hug if you enjoyed, and subscribe for tons more Destiny Rise of Iron content and coverage. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.